Welcome to Neighborhood Academy. I'm Dylan, and this is Autobattlers 101. The goal of this video is to briefly introduce you to what Autobattlers are, and then provide some examples of some different ones you might want to try. So what are Autobattlers? Autobattlers spawned out of the multiplayer online battle arena games like Dota and League of Legends. A mod called DOTA Auto Chess, developed by Drodo Studios, released in early 2019 and is regarded as the originator of the genre. As the popularity of the DOTA Auto Chess mod skyrocketed, other developers put their own spin on the genre. In some cases, releasing a similar mode for their own game, like Teamfight Tactics for League of Legends or Battlegrounds for Hearthstone, but other times releasing a standalone game, like Auto Chess or DOTA Underlords. In the years since, more games have released. Some expand the genre, like Super Auto Pets or Tales and Tactics. Others have taken ideas from the genre and incorporated them into other types of games, like Unicorn Overlord or Mechabellum. A typical game in an auto battler plays out amongst a group of players, each with their own chess-like board. Each round, players can purchase units and position them on their half of the board, after which the units will automatically battle an opponent's units, with the loser taking damage. This continues until all but one player has been eliminated. Units typically have traits assigned to them, becoming more powerful the more units with the same traits that you put on your board. You can also evolve them into more powerful versions of themselves if you purchase multiple copies of the same unit. As players progress, they are able to field more units. They can also level up their store and access more powerful units, doing their best to create the most synergistic teams that they can. Here are my recommendations for some auto battlers you might want to try out. I'd be remiss if I didn't at least mention one of the original auto battlers. Of the first three, Auto Chess, DOTA Underlords, and Teamfight Tactics, I personally enjoy TFT the most. Getting started in any of them is going to seem a little daunting, as there are a lot of systems and mechanics going on that you have to learn as you go. But if you're looking to understand auto battlers, these will give you a foundation that you can take to pretty much any other game in the genre. In learning Teamfight Tactics, I'd recommend taking it slow and trying to focus on understanding one system at a time, since it can get overwhelming quickly if you're trying to learn everything all at once. I know a lot of people view ranked modes as something that you play after you understand the game, but I'd actually recommend new players start there, since theoretically it'll be matching you up with other newer players. You can also try a mode called Hyper Roll, where you mainly focus on building out your team, which helps you learn different synergies and items without having to worry about a lot of the other systems. Overall, I think these can be the most intimidating to jump into, but I think they can be a ton of fun if you are okay with learning the systems. And if you're a fan of the Netflix show Arcane, there's never been a better time to jump in, as the current season, at the time of recording this, is based on Arcane Season 2. I was looking for an auto battler that scratched the TFT itch, but in a single player format, and that's where I found Tales and Tactics. It's a roguelite auto battler, so think something like Slay the Spire meets Teamfight Tactics. As you progress through the game, you build up your board of units, combining their synergies with the bonuses you get from random encounters. Your goal is to reach the tournament at the end of Stage 3 and walk away victorious. As you finish runs, win or lose, you'll earn points that can be used to unlock permanent upgrades to the game, essentially expanding the random encounters and mechanics of the game the more that you play it, rather than bombarding you with all of them at once. I personally love this game, and I think it's an excellent blend of the two genres. If you're interested in learning a lot of the mechanics of auto battlers in a less intimidating setting, I wholeheartedly recommend this game. Super Auto Pets is a cuter, simpler auto battler, but don't let that fool you. There's still plenty of depth and strategy that comes into play the more that you understand the game. Each round, you're buying pets and combining them to make stronger versions, attempting to reach 10 wins before losing 5 times. You don't have to worry about activating traits or your economy like in many other games in the genre, but certain units synergize well with each other, leading you towards some different team archetypes. For example, Some pets have an ability that summons another pet when they are defeated, so combining them with pets that buff summons or get stronger themselves when other pets are summoned may be your path to victory. While you do fight other players' teams, it's asynchronous, so you can play and learn at your own pace, and it has a shorter runtime than all of the other games on this list, so it's a great place to start if you're interested in the genre. Hearthstone Battlegrounds is a mashup between the digital card game Hearthstone and an auto battler. While it doesn't have traits that activate, there are general unit types that tend to have synergy with each other, such as murlocs or pirates. You also choose a hero at the beginning, all of which have various powers that may change your strategy. Collecting 3 of a type of card upgrades it to a golden card, creating a more powerful version and gaining you a free card from the shop. It still has many of the hallmarks of the auto battler genre, like setting up your board for your units to fight of their own accord, and managing upgrading your units versus leveling up your shop to unlock better cards. There is also the Mercenaries mode, which is a single-player take similar to Battlegrounds, though simplified and with a greater focus on building teams to defeat various bosses. If you are a Hearthstone player or are just more comfortable with card games, but are looking for a way to dip your toes into the auto battler genre, Battlegrounds may be one to try, as it'll help you learn a lot of the basics in a way that's a bit more familiar to you. For the final game on this list, I chose one that is definitely the loosest in terms of the definition of an auto battler, but it's one that incorporates aspects of the genre into another style of game entirely. That game is Unicorn Overlord. At its core, Unicorn Overlord is a strategy RPG more akin to games like Fire Emblem and Tactics Ogre than games like Teamfight Tactics or Auto Chess. You go around a map exploring and fighting battles. How these battles play out gives you a taste of the auto battler genre though. As you create teams of units, you set them up on a 2x3 chess-like grid, and they automatically fight the enemy teams. By combining different unit types, you can play to different strengths, have units buff each other, and find synergies that help you overcome the dark forces that have taken over the world. Again, I know it's not an auto battler in the same way that the other games on this list are, but if you normally play more strategy or RPG style games, this one may be a great way to get a little exposure to some of the concepts of the auto battler genre, and if you enjoy them, then you may want to check out some of the other games on this list. So this has been Auto Battlers 101. The genre is one that I have had a lot of fun with over the past few months, and one that I'm excited to see how it continues to evolve. I enjoy the strategy and variance of the games, setting up different combinations of units and seeing how well they work together, learning strategies I can use to increase my chances of winning, and the ability to jump in for a quick match just to scratch that itch. The games on my list of recommendations to try out are far from the only auto battlers there are, just some of the ones that I've been enjoying lately, and that I thought gave a broad range of options. If you've got any questions or want to share some of your favorite auto battlers, please leave a comment for some in-class discussion. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving me a teacher eval in the form of a like or subscribing to be notified when our other videos go live. With that, thank you for joining me, and remember, stay friendly, gamers.